So, Amandeep, I thought maybe this week we'd do something different. Normally we go through, written lessons and we review the stuff on paper.
Yeah.
We get into conversations.
Okay.
I thought maybe we could introduce a video into our lesson plan this week.
Yes.
So the video is about the early history of Victoria and Sikhs that came to Victoria then.
Yeah.
So, are you familiar at all with the early history of Victoria?
Yes, I am a little bit. I know about it. And when the people came from India, they were telling that they were really welcomed here, and they were fine, and the people here were dealing good to them, and little bit I know about that.
Do you know what Victoria or who Victoria is named after?
Queen Victoria.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And her reign was in about the 1800s. So, do you know about when the Sikhs first came to Victoria?
I think in 1850, 1860.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's that segment of the video for when the Sikhs first came to Victoria, why they came to Victoria, that I thought we could watch and maybe have a bit of discussion about.
I watched in Pal the Sikh Gurdwara, and there is a little museum, and there were pictures of Indian people who came through ships. The journey was very long, they were telling, and there were many pictures of the history of when they came to India, when they came to Canada,
right?
And there were lots of pictures of that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll fire up the video and we can watch it.
The Klondike years also saw BC's original government offices, nicknamed the bird cages, replaced with an impressive and more permanent structure. In 1897, thousands of lights were switched on, outlining it against the sky as a tribute to Queen Victoria on her Diamond Jubilee. The Queen was also receiving a tribute from another of her frontiers. Sikh lancers and infantrymen, respected across the empire, had made the trip to England to take part in the celebrations.
As these soldiers made the long journey home, they traveled across Canada to the Pacific. In British Columbia, they realized the potential of this land. The Sikhs took their impressions back to India, and immigration began a few years later.
Because these immigrants were all British subjects, they were guaranteed free movement throughout the empire. By 1911, Victoria was publishing Canada's first Sikh newspaper. And the next year saw the construction of the city's first Sikh temple. Victoria's Mayor Beckwith greeted the news of the temple's opening with this statement.
The Asiatics have come into British Columbia in such numbers that there are Hindu temples in Victoria and Vancouver. The Hindus are a source of trouble. They are not suited to the country, they are immoral and quarrelsome, and have not stamina enough to become good workers.
The privileges of being a British subject were short-lived. In an attempt to stop the Sikhs from entering the country, the Canadian government created a loophole which stated that immigrants from India must travel directly from India, stopping at no foreign ports along the way.
No steamship lines offered this option, and so immigration ended. Anyone who attempted the journey was turned back.
So, Aman, did you learn anything new from watching this video?
Yeah, I learned new that Sikhs and Hindus were not welcomed here.
Yes, unfortunately, that was a new thing for me to learn as well.
Yeah, it was also a new thing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, on here they mentioned how the Sikhs first heard about British Columbia. Did you notice on there how they said that they first heard about it?
They first heard about it. Yeah, I noticed, but I forget.
Okay, I remember back we were talking about Queen Victoria earlier, and how the city was named after her. So there was her Diamond Jubilee,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, they were telling that there were lots of lights on the building.
Right,
All
yes.
the buildings of Victoria were very much decorated. It looked like Queen of Victoria wearing diamond jewelry.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
when they first lit up the Parliament
Yeah,
buildings.
yeah. So it means that it was very important in the world.
Right.
So they came to know about it.
Right. So they also mentioned though the Sikh Lancers. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
The Sikh Lancers that came as part of the celebrations.
Yeah, they came here as part of the celebrations,
Right.
and they go through the trains and went through the trains and watched everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I think you jumped ahead a bit there in the video. I think that there was a key point in there that maybe you missed over that point. Maybe we should watch it again.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Nicknamed the bird cages, replaced with an impressive and more permanent structure.
And so immigration ended. Anyone who attempted the journey was turned back.
Okay, Aman,
Yeah.
was that more clear for you now how the Sikhs first learned about BC?
Yeah, it's more clear now. They were telling that when the Sikh legends came for the celebration in England, and Sikh legends were there, they took part in the celebration, and they came to know about BC or Canada when they were coming back to their journey, coming back, and then they came to know about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
To-
as they crossed the country, they came
across
to know
the
about
country,
it.
yeah.
Right. So when they first started to immigrate to Victoria,
In 1917, I think, 19 something.
yeah, I
they
believe
were
that
telling,
was the
yeah.
date on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How were they welcomed when they first arrived here?
When they first arrived, firstly they were like treated good, but when they start coming, and then they stopped their journey. They said stop immigration, and they were not welcoming them.
So who said to stop the immigration?
The government of Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what steps did they take to try and slow that immigration?
They stopped the journeys, like flights, everything. They stopped there. They said that you are not supposed to go across the country.
I think being 1917, I
Yeah,
don't think there was
19.
any flights that they stopped. I think
No,
you took
sorry,
the wrong way.
ship. Yeah, there were ships, no flights were there
Right.
at that time.
So did they actually stop the ships, or I believe they said it was something different in the video
Yeah.
about the restriction that they put on travel by ship.
Mm,
Do you recall they had said in the video that in order to be able to arrive by ship in Canada to stay here, that they had to make the trip as a single trip. They weren't allowed
Single
to make
trip.
it as a stopping point anywhere and change direction, right?
yeah.
So because of that and the greatness of the distance involved,
Yeah.
that was not possible for the technology of the day, I don't think, right?
Yeah. So they put restrictions on coming from India.
Right.
Yeah.
So the mayor of Victoria made some comments in the video.
Yeah. Mayor.
What are your feelings on those comments?
No, these my feelings are not good. Of course. Yeah. They were not supposed to treat like that.
Sorry, they were not supposed to. Can you elaborate on that?
They should not be treated like that.
No, one should be
Yeah,
treated
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what was it that the mayor said that you felt was particularly wrong?
That Hindus are coming, he was telling that Hindu population is increasing.
Right.
Yeah, we should put restrictions on their journey coming to Canada.
Right.
So it's not good. There are many Hindu temples, and they are gathering, and they can do something wrong. We should stop their arrival to Canada.
Right. Or restrict Not so much stop. Stop means they can't come at all,
restrict.
right? So
Yeah.
by setting the limits on how they had to travel, they narrowed the gap and restricted that as opposed to stopping it. Right?
Yes.
So Aman, your early experiences when you first arrived in Canada, how did they differ from those of the early Sikhs?
Yeah, my early experience was really good. I was impressed with the polite language of Canadian, and the only thing that was trouble for me, the English, the difference in pronunciation, like British English and Canadian English.
Right.
Yeah.
You said with the polite language of the Canadians.
Like
do you mean maybe the polite attitudes of the Canadians?
attitude, yeah. In the plane, and when I came to Canada, when I was doing all formalities, everybody was very polite to me. They was dealing very good with me.
Right.
So it was very good experience.
Right, and obviously they don't impose the same restrictions on your sari as
no
they
restrictions.
did then.
I am
Yes.
wearing Indian clothes, Indian jewelry, everything.
Right.
So I am happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll probably call this session to an end tonight, Aman, if we can, or this afternoon rather.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
It's good. Yeah.
Good, thanks.
Thanks.